Hello everyone, Berserkhead here, and welcome to episode 2 of my new Crusader King series. So we're gonna continue playing as Count Rothard. Last episode I really couldn't do more. I started being 29 years old, now I'm 30, so I pretty much played for a year. I really couldn't do much, and this is a new thing for me since I've never played as a Count before. But right now, I really want to get a duchy at this point, and between episodes, I actually went and looked at what's going on a little bit. So I can basically start a faction so we can usurp the Duke or like start a war with him, which I think would be pretty cool. That's exactly the thing that I want to do actually. I think that's, I just want to make the series as interesting as possible, so I want to have a bunch of events going on, and one of these I think would be actually a good thing to do. So I don't know which one I want to do. We can actually let time go here because there's not much going on, so why would I really care? So I can actually I first of all I can demand a duchy from liege, but in order for me to do that, my liege has got to like me for at least 25, which is not the case right now, and I gotta have a desire for this duchy, which I don't have. In order for me to get this desire trait, I gotta have 50% of its du jour territory, which I'm honestly never really going to get. But at this point, I actually figured out something better that I can do with my chancellor over here. But let's first read this event, what's going on. Books have always fascinated me, and when I heard that a friend of mine is a scholar and member of a small group of people dedicated to studying books, discussing them and learning more about our world throughout philosophy and science, I knew I had to know more. So here, I think I can gain some prestige if I choose this one, but the event is gonna continue even more if I let's ask my friend to tell me more about scholar. So I think I'm gonna gain some learning by doing that. But yeah, I figured out that it's actually a better idea for my chancellor here to fabricate a claim on a single county that's actually part of this duchy. So this way I can fabricate claims on one of these counties one by one, and I'm pretty sure I can defeat these counts, and I can't really fight against the Duke since he's more powerful than me. But I can start fabricating claims on counties that are actually part of the de jure territory of the duchy, and eventually I'm gonna have a desire from this duchy, and I'm gonna be able to ask it from my liege. And yeah, like fabricating claims on duchies is generally a better idea since I'm gonna be able to fabricate these claims much easier. My wife's pregnant once again, so this time I really hope for a daughter, although I can get some alliances marrying off my sons as well, which I'm actually gonna do a little bit. But for now, I just want to move my chancellor. Oh, let's see. A troubadour and his wife, what's that? Trobyritz, have arrived from Occitania. Their performances range from vulgar satires to political servantes, what's that? And everything in between, including songs and poems of courtly love. So once again, I can give them, I can pay them, and I can gain the charitable trade, which I already did, so I would just lose 1 gold if I choose this one. If I choose this one, which is given to me by my cynical trade, I'm gonna lose 1 intrigue, which I definitely don't want to do. Since I just started this, I'm actually gonna start a faction soon, so I need as much intrigue as possible. And I think that's the best because I can improve my relations with one of my vassals, so I'm definitely gonna do that. We're actually winning the war against Bavaria over here. So yeah, I want to fabricate claims on one of these duchies one by one. So I'm gonna put my chancellor here so he can fabricate claims on this county over here, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to usurp it sooner rather than later. Just take control of it. So Duke Knabi, who's actually my liege of Alamania, that's the duchy he's holding, is claiming to know that I'm promoting heresy, but promises to keep this to himself if I promise to stay out of all factions. Well, that's not great because I think I'm gonna start a faction soon. Although if I choose that, I'm gonna choose that, and I'm gonna agree to not participate in any factions, because if I choose that, that's actually gonna give me a severe penalty with my Duke, which I don't want to do at this point. I want him still to like me. Oh, that actually disabled my chance to actually participate in any factions. Once again, I've never played as a Duke, so I didn't know that was gonna happen. So that's a pretty big bump in the road for me. I didn't know that was gonna happen, man. That was definitely not good. Right now, I'm trying to improve my relations with this guy, because if I'm gonna ask for a duchy title, I think he's gotta be the one who actually likes me. I'm not sure if it should be him or just the Duke, but why would I ask the Duke for his own title? I don't know. I'm not really sure how this works. Once again, I'm not the most experienced at playing as a camp. But that's one of the things that I think makes this series good, because I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna be trying to improvise as much as possible. Oh, this is our ally. Let's see if he's gonna win the battle. I'm gonna have some revolt risks, so I might wanna. Yeah, I was trying to collect taxes, but my steward's not the greatest, so it resulted in hiring the local revolt risk. But I can actually deal with that pretty easily. I can just send my my marshal over there. Oh, he actually lost the battle. Now we're minus 16 war score. Not that it actually matters to me a lot, but that's never a good thing, losing a war like that. I can change the laws. I mean, I actually want to change the gender laws at this point to... Oh, there you go. Here's a daughter. But I want to change the laws to agnatic rather than agnatic cognatic, because if I have agnatic cognatic Gavelkind, that means that after my death, my daughters are gonna have claims on my titles as well. Whereas if I have agnatic, just my sons are gonna have claims on my titles, and just my sons are gonna inherit my titles as well. Because in Gavelkind, all of my titles, right now it doesn't really matter because I just have one title, but eventually I'm planning to have more titles when I die. So if I have Gavelkind, my titles are going to be split between my sons. And if I have agnatic cognatic Gavelkind, that means some of my titles are going to go to my daughters, which is never a good thing. So always change your Gavelkind to just cognatic. Oh, he wants to appoint me as a chancellor, which I'm definitely gonna accept. So that's that was my nice. That was actually my ambition done with. So now I can pick a different ambition. Can pick this one, Paragon of Virtue. I can pick this one. So this one requires me to have prestige over 1000, which is a very hard thing to do as a count. And this requires me to have piety of at least 500, which once again is very, very, very difficult thing to do. Although this is pretty much impossible at this point, and if I pick this one, I'm not gonna be able to change it. I was just reading of this. If I'm gonna get the subjugation casus belly, but I'm not a pagan, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. So this thing is pretty much useless unless you're a pagan. I mean, you get 1000 prestige, so if there is actually some chance for you to get this title, I mean, sure, it's kind of helpful, but I'm not a pagan, so this is actually not remotely helpful in my case. A famous writer proposes to compose your family chronicles. So if I give him patronage, I'm gonna lose some gold, gonna gain some prestige, and there's 15% chance of me getting the trait Proud, which is a pretty bad trait as far as I know. Gives me prestige, but I think my vassals are gonna dislike me a little bit more. I'm not sure about it. And if I ignore him, I'm gonna gain the trait Humble, but I'm gonna I think these are some of my family members or my vassals, and I'm gonna have minus 10 relations with them, so I definitely don't want that. Actually, Proud is not that bad thinking about it. I can get some monthly prestige, so I'm definitely gonna give him patronage. I'm gonna basically trade some gold for some prestige. I think I'm gonna pick this one, and I'm gonna be generally trying to get as much prestige as possible. And I think I have... Oh, offer to help with leash titles? I don't know what that means. Give your assistance to Liege Jimenez's recently acquired titles. Oh, alright, so if he conquers some territory... Oh, see, he actually... So that's actually the war done with. That's Charlemagne. Basically, once Francia just devoured Middle Francia right now, that's how the Charlemagne start works. This guy has claim on Middle Francia, and the guy from Middle Francia has claim on West Francia, and there's usually a war going on between the two. That's how the Charlemagne start works. So I think the war's over, or I think this guy might have inherited the title since the previous owner might have been dead, and I think in this case he inherits the title. I'm not sure what happened, but all of this territory is now West Francia, so he's my new liege, and he's got a lot of acquired new titles, so I can help him. I can help them like distribute them towards like different vassals, which I cannot do right now, because in order for me to do it, I gotta have over 4 domain size, which I do not at this point. So that's not a possibility for me. Alright, let's see if he actually likes me more than the previous guy. This is Charlemagne himself, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's him. So he's got pretty good traits, as you can see. Very low learning. I've actually read a lot about Charlemagne. He was not the smartest of men, but he was just a very talented ruler. He actually never learned to read. As far as I know, he slept with a book under his pillow, thinking that that's gonna help him learn to read, but he never actually learned it. So he was not a very well-educated man, but still he was a very very good ruler, especially when it comes to like, it was a great military ruler as well. And as you can see, he's got 23 martial skill. You know, there are some historical persons in this game, so yeah, they gotta be, realistic. Like, their stats gotta be realistic, representative of what these people actually were. Let's go to intrigue, and I'm gonna try and hold a feast or do something like that so I can gain some prestige, I think. I gotta have 100 prestige to start with. 5 prestige, I get 0.5 every month, so I gotta wait for, was that 10 months? And so basically next year I'm gonna be able to hold a feast, which will cost me 25 gold. That's not that much, and it's gonna boost my monthly prestige as well. I can hold a summer fair, which does pretty much the same thing. It's just the event can be started at like a different time of the year. So I expressed my views on the whole religion and God thing a bit too loud and got into a lot of trouble with the priest because of it. Okay, so I'm gonna lose some piety here. I've got 1 piety. I'm not a very pious man. A man claiming to be a lord who's disappeared 7 years ago has found his way to my castle. He sings of a fair queen of Elfland, and some say his songs are prophetic. Alright, so I can use my cynical trait, and I can gain the trait paranoid, which, believe me, is not a good trait. It gives you 2 intrigue and -1 diplomacy, but there are gonna be random events where, you can push, like, your character gets really paranoid that someone can actually assassinate him, so I definitely don't like this trait. I've had it before. I can just like offer this guy shelter, I guess, and he's just gonna become part of my court. Or I can gain the trait kind, which is actually really good. I think it gives me some diplomacy. I'll be right when I say that. And I'm gonna have even more diplomacy right now. 23. That's actually exceptional diplomacy. I can imagine I'm a pretty good chancellor of this guy. I'm doing a pretty good job. He's actually in hiding, so that actually doesn't concern me at all. Oh, I can join this faction. Seniority succession in Alemania. I'm actually gonna do that. Oh, I'm dead? I try to sit up in bed, but someone is holding me down. It's the burly armsman with the trustworthy face I promoted to the guard last week. Another assailant is trying to force drag into my mouth, holding my nose too. Can't breathe. So I'm dead. Alright, and that was the timer as well for the end of this episode. That was actually pretty good timing. I'm actually glad this is over. I'm glad I died so young because I can't be bothered playing as a count. My power is so limited and the things that I can do are so limited that I'm actually glad that I died so early. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So that's the death of Count Rothard. I got assassinated apparently. Apparently that happens to counts. I just got assassinated by one of my guards. I died at the age of 32. Imagine if I lived by the age of like 60. I don't know what I was gonna be able to achieve. As you can see, as you can probably see, I didn't really know what I was doing. So yeah, I'm actually glad I died. I'm glad I died, and I'm gonna be able to start as a new character in the next episode. So yeah, see you there. That's gonna be everything for this character. In the next episode, we're gonna start as a new one, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to do better stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be it. See you next time. Goodbye.